Welcome back to another WRC 23 gameplay video. Now this video is going over my thoughts on the brand new game. Now, first of all, thank you so much to EA for giving me a preview access. This is very much the preview that we got to try. I know myself and a few content creators have done loads of content on it. But this video is just solely gameplay and me going over some of the good and bad points so far. We're going to take out the legendary Subaru Impreza Colin McRae's rally car. Let's go over the good parts, and honestly, there is a lot of good parts to this game. I have really enjoyed the couple of weeks that I've had to preview this game and really get to know the game and what it's about. First things first, and I think a lot of people are most concerned with, is the handling. This game is made by Codemasters. Codemasters make Dirt 2.0, which is just a legendary rally game. But I truly mean this when I say this is the best rally game we've had for the past few years. Ignore my crashing. It's fine. It offers so much, but if you're looking for a sim rally game, I don't think this is it. Now, hear me out. It's very similar, and you can tell it's made by the people that made Dirt 2.0. There are very much similarities between the two games, but this is what I would class as a simcade. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think one thing you have to bear in mind is that this is a WRC game. Yes, it's not the same people who created the previous ones, but WRC games previously for me have been very arcadey. So I think keeping in line with its current audience, its current players, keeping it being a simcade is the perfect balance. Now, for you sim racers, it's not that this game's going to be boring and it's going to be too easy for you. Trust me, this is a difficult game. It's not completely easy, although I would say that all different levels of drivers can play this game. It's definitely a learning curve. You're going to enjoy it, it's going to be a challenge. But it's also accessible. It's also accessible for people who maybe are starting out playing rally games. Setups are available as well, so you can get really in depth with the setups. I didn't really go down that route, but if you played the F1 game, kind of similar, where you can do a lot to set the car up for specific events, especially because there's 17 different locations on this game, various different tracks with snow, gravel, you name it. It's covered all bases, so setups I think will be quite a prominent thing in this game. The handling feels really good. Now, I was using a Thrustmaster. It's very much a mid-range wheel and it felt absolutely fine. I was pretty much using default on the wheel. I mean, I'm not the best rally driver, as we can clearly see, but default worked pretty well. I didn't really have to do much. I had a nice feeling in the wheel. There was a nice weight to the wheel. I could feel it before I could see it. That's what she said. It was just a really nice experience. It was fun. And even though I might not be the best out there in the world, I thoroughly enjoyed taking part in the different rallies and the cars. I go on to the cars. The car list is incredible, and that's where the WRC element comes in. That's given Codemasters the ability to showcase many different varieties of rally cars. The newer rally cars do seem to be a bit more, just feel a bit more worked on, and that's not saying that the older rally cars don't feel as good. It's just, again, if I go back to the F1 car, when we used to have classic cars on F1, you would feel that the current F1 cars of that game generation, that game year, were very much spot on, where the classic cars probably didn't have as much input into it. It's not saying they haven't had input. I just feel like they seem to be more worked on. I'm trying to get my point across with it. But again, my favourite cars from this game were the 90s rally cars. I had an absolute ball. You'll see later on in this video we took the 306 out and it was just superb. And again, it's every generation. You got your Group B rally cars that you can have so much fun with. By the way, the 205 Group B rally car is an absolute handful. Honestly, even the best are going to really struggle getting to grips with that car. It's so difficult, but again, a lot of fun. And you can really learn and hone your skills in.
Okay, that's a 5-minute 12.4.
5-minute 12. Lots of mistakes made. I'm very sorry, Colin McRae. That did not do you in any good honour whatsoever. So we're going to take this beautiful little Renault out. Now this probably is the most difficult track. I have to say it's quite difficult to do. There were longer stages, but however, I just thought, no, let's just hone it in. I am very limited on time as well.
Medium left.
The builder was fantastic. I really enjoyed building my own rally car. You can see that in a previous video. A lot of fun. I have to say I've not really got too in depth with the career mode because it was a preview. I knew I was only going to have it for a couple of weeks. I was limited on the content I could make, so I didn't do too much within career mode. It seemed good fun. However, I'm really looking forward to the multiplayer. I think racing online with your friends, competing, I tend to do that a lot more than playing career mode. The multiplayer, you can have, I believe it was 32 cars in a lobby, which is insane. So I'm very excited to try that. I didn't get to try that in this preview build. The rally school. I really enjoyed the rally school. Now, I know that Dirt Rally 2.0 did have a rally school. That is a bit more in depth than this one. And again, I go back to the fact that they have the license for WRC, and I think they've tried to ensure that they've incorporated a really detailed game in the handling and everything that you can do, but also remembered that their players of WRC probably weren't into sim racing, for example. So they've kept it simple and easy to understand for new beginners, and that's what it's aimed at really. If you've not played a rally game before, if you're not familiar with it, if you've maybe been more towards the arcade game element, that area is for you. It's for you to learn and understand how a rally car performs. And I imagine people who have played Dirt 2.0 or Richard Burns Rally, all of them, you're not really going to go to the rally school, you're going to know your stuff. So I think it's perfectly set out and well worth a go. Going into this game, honestly, I just felt really at home, and that was with any car. I mean, I know I'm not the greatest at this, but if my camera was on whilst filming this, you'd have seen that I just had such a smile on my face. It's so much fun. And it's challenging, but it's still a delight to play, and you can get into a rhythm so quickly. It's just challenging but easy at the same time. It honestly is just a fantastic game, and I really hope the review copy that we should get shortly really lives up to this. This is a good stepping stone, and again, this is the preview copy. It is a few stages behind, so I'm really hoping that the review copy that we get, the final copy, is just as good as this.
Medium left.
Bad points. I'm going to be honest, there wasn't really many. If I had to really think, there's possibly a little bit too much grip, especially towards the front. Now, I mean, I'm not particularly brilliant at this game, but I did feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm going off 2.0. I mean, there's still room for error, as you can see from this video. I still made mistakes, I still went off. But I just felt like it was a little easier than I expected. And the handbrake, now I don't actually have a handbrake, I was using the button, and that didn't feel particularly great to me. I don't know if I just wasn't hucking up right, if I just wasn't driving right, but you know, a handbrake should potentially make it quicker to get around a corner in rally, and it kind of didn't. It was definitely quicker for me to go on and off the brake and accelerator.
Over finish, hard right to stop. Okay, that's a 4-minute
You may see from this video, you've just seen it there, it just glitched out a little bit. There were some performance issues. Now again, it's a preview. Oh, look at this car. Look at these. These were my favourite. I really loved the 90s Rally's car. This was my favourite. This track, this car, I just had an absolute ball with. But yeah, there were some performance issues. Again, it's a preview, so it was to be expected. This video was on high, and that's why I didn't have my camera set on, because I do have the required specs on my PC, but it's very much a mid-range PC. It's not a high-range PC. A Ryzen 5, I've got a 3070 graphics card. It's more than capable of running at high performance, but again, there was a couple of performance issues which were a bit of a pain, but they weren't like game breaking or anything, and I'm pretty certain that when the game comes out it will be all corrected on like my driving here, as you can see. Overall, I have really enjoyed this game and I'm really excited for it. It has to be one of the best games Codemasters produced in the past few years. It's fun. It's a perfect game to get your rig out and just go racing, and it really brought back something in me that I haven't played a rally game in a very, very long time. I did play Dirt 2.0, but I haven't played it in a very, very long time. The closest I've come to a rally game was on GT7, and that is rubbish. It's not good on that game. And it brought back just so many good times that I had. It's so much fun, and that there was an element of learning, and it was fun. I actually really look forward to properly trying out this game and really honing in my skills. I'm very pleased that the preview was as good as it has been. So, Cody's, it's a premature congratulations, and it's well deserved, because the hard-working guys and girls there, they are a really lovely bunch. I've been part of Racing Ahead program, I've been part of the EA content creators. They are really very talented folk there, and they've proved it with this game. Guys, I'm going to leave you with the rest of this stage. We are near the end, but thank you so much for watching. There are other WRC videos that I will link in the description. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, and don't forget to subscribe for more WRC content.
Medium left past junction, bad bump. Easy right. And easy left, slowing. Over finish, hard right to stop. Okay, that's a 4 minute 53.7.